Hi, Cancer. Happy Scorpio season. So the water signs, I feel there's so much strength in this season for you guys. And I feel like for you, so much, it's going to be really helpful in many different ways. First, a lot of you are probably feeling more alive and more in control of your decisions at this time. And it's very clear what's being presented to you, the options being presented to you. And it's similar to what I said to Pisces, where you can for sure just jump on it, but then the other side of you really looking at the long term and looking at it from the outside perspective. Because if you look at this card, there's 2 pentacles in the beginning, but you see the 2 boats behind him, right? On the waves, you know? So it's that perspective. And what are you feeling when you're weighing these options? What are you feeling when you feel impulsive? How do you feel when you're feeling like you can't make a decision, or you need more time, or when you feel stagnant in an area of your life, or there's so many different things. But this is about resources. It's not just the resources that you use physically, but the resources of yourself. So you as a resource, you as in having energy as a human being, that's also kind of up for discussion. And the cards seem like they really want to be specific with you because it's taking a minute for them to come out. So the 4 of Wands, it's decisions. There's a couple flipped over. Decisions based off of not only the foundation that was built, but about what you're putting into it now. For a lot of you, you're at a new beginning with either your life in general, like you're really starting in a different place than you were about a year ago, or even longer than that. And you're looking at for some of you, commitment differently. And you're making strong, decisive decisions. No matter how long you contemplate these things, they're becoming a lot easier to recognize for yourself. Not that you have a hard time with that, but there's a deeper commitment that you're finding through taking your time to see things how they once were, to how they are now, and what's going to happen next. There's like deep contemplation that you, coming from the season of relationship into the season of deeper intimacy, you realize that that's even more important. Like, how do you picture yourself sharing these parts of you with other people? How do you actually do it? How does it come up? Is it something that you say out of a reaction, or is it something that you say because you're having a conversation? Is it something that you say because you feel like you need someone to know this about you, or is it through having a greater experience with a human and a connection? And for some of you, it could be many people, depending on what you do with your life. It's important to be free with how you express yourself this month, but not in a way that might have you at the edge of a cliff that you're not ready to jump off of. For some of you, you're going to feel like you're going to want to jump off that cliff, but this month is not for cliff jumping. This month is for adventure for sure, and especially expressing your emotions and how you feel and being more risky in that area of your life, especially if it means risking a certain part of you, and you're deciding to be different, to handle things differently, to absorb things differently. For some of you, you're really deepening a commitment with a partner. For others of you, you're becoming more of who you want to be in the scenarios, in what you're building now. You're seeing more of like what you actually have to put into yourself and how that is a risk in itself. And not that you're you're not adverse to taking risks, but they have to be on your terms almost. Like you do it in the way that you're prepared and ready for it. But this season is an interesting mix of being on your toes, but also not allowing that to have you jump backwards. And even though that's okay sometimes to take a step back, you really want to move forward, and you want to put that energy, that maybe that impulsive energy. And again, if you feel like being impulsive, go ahead, do it. Do it with how you feel. Do it with things that maybe you've been avoiding. And so sometimes when you avoid things, you can tend to take certain risks that you're actually not prepared to handle. And for a lot of you this month, it's because there's a lot of different, it's emotionally evolving for you. And it almost feels like comforting, because you can come to realize, some of you in this month were like, oh, why was I thinking of doing that anyway? Like, I'm not ready for that. Like, I'm not ready to go there, like physically. This is about taking that energy and taking, especially if it was around the full moon, it's about utilizing however you're feeling stimulated and communicating it. There's intelligence in how you choose to do that this month more than ever. Oh, here you are. Okay, we have you here. This is you becoming the becoming very sophisticated version of yourself. And that's some long-term shit. Sophistication is built over time. It doesn't just happen. Unless you've been developing it for a long time. For others of you, you could be approached by a Cancer as well. They might have an opportunity for you. I do think this is about you guys really coming into yourself more and more, realizing that you have been in a night stage for a while for some of you, and now you're really in this King of Cups, like, I know what I want. And not that I never know what I want, but now it's like, oh shit, it's here, it's happening. I get to work on it now. I get to invest in it now. I get to decide on this now. And it's like just happening. For some of you, it's going to happen really quickly. So that's also that adventure, but it's still giving yourself that space to think, to even talk to people that you feel like you can really trust. Okay, yeah. Yes. Ooh. It's the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords. Yeah. So this month, it's like very clear that it's like simple. It's super simple. Don't overcomplicate anything. Anything that feels overcomplicated, cut it out. Especially if it's in your mind. Use that too. By the Fool and the Knight, this just keeps pulling me in. It's not so much turning your back on this part of yourself, it's learning to use it in a way that actually is risky. Now, it's being so loyal to yourself and so loyal to what you're setting out to do that it's clearing the way. So that by the end of the month, bottom of the deck, the Hangman, through this eclipse, you'll understand the action you'll need to take next month. So it's a very clear reading. 2, 4, 2. You're connecting and uniting to the parts of yourself that are extremely important right now. So being able to share that in an intimate way will be a part of your growth, no matter who it's with. It's not about them necessarily agreeing with you. It's about them accepting all of you as you accept all of yourself. And that is a part of a foundation you always want to create with whatever life's around you, whoever is surrounding you, and whoever you bring close to you. As a Cancer, you can be in your shell. This time in your life is extremely vulnerable in general, and now a part of you has come to that acceptance, and I think you're going to find a deeper sense of acceptance throughout this month in a way that is not only extremely beautiful for you personally, but for the people around you that get to watch you drink from this cup. Because when you become so secure with that side of yourself, with that which is innately who you are and how you're able to draw in and create something out of nothing. And there's so much for you to go and create, and there's so much energy you're going to have by accepting that and turning away from whatever in the past kept you self-sabotaging or jumping off that cliff, because that is just not good for you. And if there's an Aries in your life, you might have to put up a boundary. Just saying. Okay, so this is the first part, and we'll take a look at the cards in the second part. All information to work with me is below. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next month, Cancer. Hi, Cancer. Alrighty. So, all information to work with me is below, by the way. And this is the second part of the reading where I go through the cards with you. It's helped me a lot, and it also gives me another perspective, which helps me reveal the cards more. So this is a little different, which is funny, but now more than ever, I'm seeing that you have a decision to make. Like, some of you, there's someone who is like really ready for something with you. There might be two people. You might have to decide between two people right now, actually. For some of you, or it's the decision of, there's a few things. I actually don't think you have to decide between two people, but there's a part of you that may feel very uncertain about this commitment that you're jumping into. There is stability and a deeper commitment, but the opposing nature of these two cards, so you have the 2 twos, but the 4 of wands here, you see just, that background. And then the 2 of cups is extremely close up. It's very obvious to you that this is a leap. It's very obvious to you that you have to take a risk, and maybe even sharing how you feel with someone. This may be someone that you haven't even approached yet, actually. Some of you might be getting married, though. Some of you are definitely getting married or being proposed to, or both. And then there are others of you who it's time for you to take this risk. You've been unsure for a while with this person, but you've gained enough perspective that you may have really strong feelings for someone that you just haven't had the courage to say something yet. And this is a month to do it. This is a month to have some fun with love, but also, like, for some of you, I do feel like normally I don't say this kind of stuff, but this is a person that you've been like watching for a while, you've been noticing for a while, or someone's been noticing you, Cancer, and you're going to get approached. But I do feel like for most of you, it's you approaching someone. It's you feeling that confidence in yourself to know that you have a lot to offer, that you have something to gain from this offer as well. But you have to first see that in yourself, that the Knight of Cups, you become the king. And here you are. And then you might even get this reciprocity of this person, like, has great love for you too. And there's a huge sense of opening and direction that comes to you from this. For some of you, this is just deepening the greater ideal of what it means to be in a commitment with someone. And how even thinking about that is kind of an adventure. It's kind of jumping off a cliff. For some of you, you do have to be careful, though, to not fall into something or turn your back on yourself. This is about you really facing and, you know, backing yourself up. You can even see like the Fool is like a little angel here that's behind this person who's committing. It's like you have the support, you have the guts to move forward. And I just don't, and it's so funny because there's just no other way. I'm sorry, but you have to do this. It's like, you have to do this. Like, you have to express your love. You have to say how you feel. It's the only way to get back to yourself, truly, to get back to yourself in a way that you may have not have felt like yourself in a long time. Sorry. And it's going to bring so much clarity and an exceptional amount of energy, especially mental energy, because it's like, I feel like you've been like kind of thinking about this for a while, like the Two of Pentacles right away, at like all Libra season, that's what you're doing. I know, trust me, I get it. But that's you, Libra season really, you know, said, hey, like, okay, you've done enough thinking. You've done enough weighing out as much as you can. It's time to commit. It's time to go. And a lot of you, this is really about love this month. Like, this is just straight up love. But by the end of the month, it will be both purpose, love, everything. Everything will be going smoothly, extremely smoothly. And just don't be afraid of that. Like, ride that for a while. Like, this month is really healing for the water signs. It's crazy. You also may gain opportunities from this. You might even notice that after you express yourself in this way, it's actually been holding that expression, that action has held you back from these other opportunities trying to get to you, especially the opportunity for mental clarity. Hello. So essentially, this is also extremely powerful for you. You're not only doing these things, but you're crushing it. Like, you're completely crushing it, and you're doing well, and you're getting that response back, and you are seeing like that everything you've been doing for a while, even if you haven't been doing for a while, you kind of feel like a pro at it, or you feel like extremely confident in what you're doing. And so therefore it saves a lot of energy for you to not be in doubt. You're going to notice that too. And that might trip you up a little bit, but it's important for you to realize that the more time you spend energy in like fear and doubt and all these places without giving them a release or without giving them an antidote, it takes a lot of energy from you. So by the end of the month, you're completely content and satisfied with the amount of how you've spent your time, how you've used this month, how Mars and Scorpio has come through you. It's extremely fucking healing. Like, this is just so clear and concise, Cancer. This is amazing. And in a way that is what you need, you know? And for some of you, it's been since Virgo season, but also the Hangman could be a Virgo. There might be some clarity that you find on a Virgo. Also could be, it also is the part of you that is allowing yourself to rest in everything you've learned, and you come to this really even profound reflection by the end of the month, you know, and it's not alone. You get to share these reflections now more than ever, and it's accepted. You accept your nature, and nature accepts you, I guess, right? All right. Well, happy Scorpio season, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next month.